Macros, macros, macros. Macros make the world go round. Well, not really, but at the end of the day, if you want to learn how to fit in your favorite foods and easily and effortlessly learn how to reach your health and fitness goals when it comes to building more muscle, but also losing more body fat, then you definitely want to make sure that you understand macros. Now, you may be wondering, what are macros? Well, macros are short for macronutrients, and this is your proteins, your carbs, and your fats, and they all play a vital role within your body. Now, just to make this a lot easier to understand, if let's say you go to the grocery store and buy a candy bar, if you ever look on the back, you're going to see what's called nutritional facts. And at the very top, there's going to be the total calories, but underneath the calories, you're going to see your proteins, your carbs, your fats, and broken up to different grams per macronutrient. Now, here's something that is really going to help you out, so pay close attention to this. It's called the thermic effect of food. So anytime you're eating food, your body's going to require energy, right? To digest that food and to break it down. Well, you'll be surprised that actually different macronutrients require different energy. So fats, for example, only require about 0 to 3% energy to break it down. Now carbohydrates is anywhere from 5 to 10% energy. But here's the kicker. The more protein that you're consuming, way more energy is being used to digest it, anywhere from 20 to 30%. So now that you know a little bit more about macronutrients and the thermic effect of food, let's next talk about the 80-20 rule, because this is where you're going to learn how to have your cake and eat it too. Now check this out. Your body does not know the difference if something is good for you or if something is actually bad for you. That's how our minds perceive it. And that's why when you apply the 80-20 rule, you can actually start adapting a more of a healthier relationship when it comes to food. Because if you're eating broccoli, guess what? Your body's job is just to digest that broccoli. Whether you're eating donuts and cakes, your body's job is just to digest those donuts and cakes. Once again, it does not know the difference between if something's good for you or if something's bad for you. So the 80-20 rule is eating 80% of the time your healthy foods, the foods that are filled with nutrients that are actually beneficial for you, but also at the same time having those sanity foods 20% of the time. And that's your favorite foods. That's the beer, the pizza, the cheesecake, the Oreos, the donuts, the cakes, It doesn't really matter too much. At the end of the day, the reason why this works so well when you apply the 80-20 rule is because, once again, you'll start adapting a healthier relationship with food, but most importantly, you'll be more successful at reaching your health and fitness goals for long-term success. Not the short-term fads out there where you cut out your carbs or you cut out all sugars and processed foods where, hey, anybody can do it for a short period of time. And who knows, maybe you also tried those types of diets where, the first 5 days, maybe a few weeks into it, everything's easy. But at the end of the day, you eventually hit the stall, you eventually hit the brakes. And because it's not actually sustainable, because you're either on a low-calorie restricted diet or you're cutting out your favorite fun foods, you eventually fall off the wagon and then regain the weight right back. Now, this is exactly what we teach our coaching members at Heartletics, and we've been doing this for years, helping thousands of guys when it comes to easily losing body fat and building muscle and just applying these simple principles. So that way, they can learn on what works best for their body type, but also fit in their favorite foods. That way they can have long-term success. Even the guys with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and also struggling with type 2 diabetes apply this simple principle of learning on what works best for their body type so that way they can get off their medications but also still consume their favorite foods. And it's because they're investing into themselves to acquire the knowledge of what works best for their body type, their goals, and most importantly, their lifestyle to help them create sustainable habits. I'm sure you heard the phrase, you can either give a man a fish and feed him for a day, or you can teach a man how to fish and feed him for the rest of his life. And that's exactly how we help out our members at Heartletics. Take, for example, Brian. He was somebody that was struggling with this rotating swing shift, and these long, hard hours at work left him kind of hopeless. Because at the end of the day, he tried everything under the sun. He tried South Beach diet, Weight Watchers, low carb, intermittent fasting, all these different things in order to lose weight, but he never had any long-term success. It wasn't until we had our discovery call, we figured out for him that maybe coaching was the best thing for him, where he can have somebody in his corner supporting him 24/7, but also making it very easy and effortless for him to know how to fuel his body in terms of the right foods that work best for him and his goals, and also how to train in a way that's sustainable for him and also his busy schedule at work. Now, Santo is another prime example. He's somebody that tried countless diets before in the past, but always kind of found himself at a loss because the first 5, 10, 15 pounds was very easy to lose, but eventually he would hit this stall, get discouraged, throw in the white towel, and just kind of give up and end up regaining all the weight right back. It wasn't actually until he saw my Facebook ad where he figured, hey, I never really heard about anybody teaching me on what works best for my body type, so he decided to sign up for a free discovery call. And on our call, it was more about just figuring out more about his lifestyle. What was the foods he enjoyed to consume with his family at dinner? What was the alcoholic beverages of choice that he enjoyed, like the beers and the bourbons? And most importantly, a training routine that worked best for his body type, where he can get rid of the dad bod, he can get rid of the gut and the man boobs, and most importantly, figure out what was the keys that he was kind of missing in terms of doing something specifically for his body type and his goals that's also worked out best for his lifestyle. And on our call, it was really working with Santo. Rather than telling him what he should be doing, it was more so of, hey, what are the few small tweaks that you could be making that could make a world of a difference? So that way, guess what? He can enjoy that nice family dinner with everybody at the household, and he can have his bourbons, he can have his beers, but this time, easily learn how to lose the body fat. And for Mark, it was very similar. He's somebody that struggled his entire life with his weight. He was feeling unmotivated, he was feeling discouraged, he was feeling uncomfortable in his own skin. He was just lacking the confidence, and it seemed like he was always at a loss because he always tried these different diets, but nothing seemed to work for him. And at the end of the day, he loves food. He loves taking his family out, Chinese, barbecue, and just kind of relaxing with everybody, having that quality time together. But he realized here, he didn't want to be that person that's just constantly eating salads, while everybody else was enjoying their favorite foods. He wanted to learn, what was the proper way on how to fit in his favorite foods, how to train in a way where it was sustainable for him and his goals, so that way he can have best success. So when Mark saw my Facebook ad, he immediately scheduled a free discovery call because he wants to learn, what was the best way, but most importantly, the most sustainable way possible on how to reach his goals, how to fit in his favorite foods, but also how to train his body properly, that worked best for his lifestyle and his busy schedule. So that way he can learn how to lose the body fat, build the muscle, but also regain his confidence back, regain his energy back, fit into his old favorite clothes, and most importantly, feel proud of who he saw looking back at him in the mirror. Now, here are the 3 biggest mistakes that I see countless times from guys trying to reach their health and fitness goals all on their own. The first big mistake is not having the right game plan. They're either going to Google or going to YouTube and trying to just figure things out on their own, but not understanding that, their body is unique. They should be probably doing something specifically for their body type, but most importantly, something that's in alignment with their goals that work best for their lifestyle, because that's what's going to lead to long-term success. So when guys just go to Google and guys just go to YouTube, it's kind of like they're just throwing stuff on the wall and just seeing what kind of sticks. But it's not actually a game plan that's strategically mapped out for them specifically. And especially if you're somebody that struggles with having a slow metabolism. Because at the end of the day, if you're not doing things properly for your body type, you could potentially be doing a lot more harm than good. And the second biggest mistake is not knowing when and how to make adjustments if they ever hit these metabolic stalls, aka plateaus. At the end of the day, your body's a machine. It's always going to adapt. So learning about obviously proper macronutrients for your body type, but also proper training specifically for your body type is very key. Because now, whenever you hit these stalls, you can easily make some fine-tuned adjustments, right? That can really make a world of a difference with helping you not hit these plateaus anymore. And the third biggest mistake is not having the right people in their corner supporting them. I like to say it like this. If you're going to go out to war all by yourself against this big army, how successful are you really going to be? It's best to have your brothers in arms. And that's why accountability is the key. Having the right people there to motivate you, to encourage you, to support you, but also helping you see any kind of blind spots that you might not be able to see is so vital when it comes to being on the right path for success and reaching your health and fitness goals. That's why one of my favorite Bible verses is Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens another. So if you're somebody that's constantly struggling and it seems like year after year, it's only getting harder for yourself, but you find yourself always falling back to the same things you were doing before in the past, hear me out. Albert Einstein said it best. The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. Now remember what I said earlier. You can either give a man a fish and feed him for a day, or you can teach a man how to fish and feed him for the rest of his life. I bet you anything, if you were taught how to properly eat and train specifically for your body type, your goals, and your lifestyle, you'll probably have the best success in the world when it comes to reaching your goals once and for all. One of the best things that you can do when it comes to being on the right path for success at reaching your goals is just by asking for some help. So if you want to learn more about what works best for your body type, how to create sustainable habits, and how to have success at reaching your goals once and for all, click on the link down below. Schedule a free discovery call because maybe you're at a point right now where you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. You've tried so many different things, but nothing seems to have worked the best for you. And you're constantly realizing here that the older you get, it just gets harder and harder. Maybe you don't have the energy that you want to. Maybe you just don't have the confidence that you want to. Maybe, who knows, you're struggling with high blood pressure or even high cholesterol and you want to get off your medications. Maybe you just want to learn how to lead by example for your family better. It could be a multitude of different things into why you want to get in shape. And I encourage you, ask yourself, why? Why do you want to get in shape? Why is it a priority to you? Because once you understand that, then the answer is going to be really crystal clear. You're going to realize here that maybe asking for help is probably the best thing that you can start doing. So that way, you can learn how to become an asset rather than a liability. You can learn how to have success at reaching your health and fitness goals once and for all. But once again, maybe you just need a little bit of help. And if you want to schedule a free discovery call, once again, just click on the link down below and I'll be glad to give you some guidance.